Hi, it's Seta here, and in this tutorial we will set the lighting in Unity URP during the day. If you are a beginner, I recommend watching this series from the beginning, as I explain some options much more there. And of course, the settings shown here can be freely modified to get lighting that will better fit your scene. So let's get started. First, we need to add Skybox to our scene, but this time we won't use the Skybox I showed you in the previous video, and instead of this, we will use Skybox created by me. Therein we can attach a background texture, just like in the case of regular CubeMap Skybox, but we will also have control the sun position, like in the case of a procedural Skybox. Of course, you can use standard Unity Skybox for this purpose, but if you want to try my Skybox shader, you can download it from the link that can be found in the video description. After downloading and installing the package, first let's add our Skybox to the scene. To do this, select Twisted Image, Skybox Shader, and move our Skybox into the scene. Next, let's also add the shader controller prefab to it. Now we need to add directional light to our controller and assign our Skybox. Even though our Skybox is gray now, we already have the sun generated on it, which can be moved using directional light. So let's set it up so that its position reflects the sun position at noon. Once we have everything set up, we can move on to the Skybox options. First, let's add a texture to it. I will use one of the Skyboxes from the AllSky package for this purpose, but you can add completely different one. Below, you can change the color of our Skybox, but I will leave this unchanged. Next, we can change the saturation of our Skybox, and in this case, I will want the Skybox to have a less saturation, so I will set it to 0.25. The next parameter is intensity, and thanks to this, we can change the intensity of our Skybox. So I will set it to 0.25. Here, we can also rotate our Skybox to better fit to the scene. The sun size parameter controls the size of generated sun, and I will set it to 0.02. Using intensity, we can control the brightness of the sun. This effect, however, will only be visible once we add the bloom effect to our scene. Now, let's move on to the lighting settings. To open the lighting window, go to Window, Rendering, Lighting. A new window will open, in which we can go to the Environment tab. Select the source and change it to Gradient. Unfortunately, in URP, we don't have the options for automatic exposure, so we will have to set the lighting in such a way that details are visible both in the shadows and in the sunlight. So let's set the sky color to light gray, the equator color to a slightly dark gray, and the ground color to gray. Now let's deal with the fog. Even though there is no fog during the day, we can use these options to achieve the atmospheric perspective effect, which makes object further away appears lighter to the viewer. So let's change the mood to exponential and the color to dark gray blue. And then let's set the density to 0.002. Now let's go to the settings of our directional light. And here, let's change the light appearance to filter and set the temperature to around 6000 kelvins. Let's reduce the intensity to 0.6. Now let's add a global volume to our scene. So right-click in the hierarchy window, Volume, Global Volume. Create a new profile and select New Override, Post-processing, and add Tone Mapping. Let's set it to Neutral. The next element will be color adjustment. And here we will increase the intensity to 2. Next, we increase contrast to around 68 and decrease the saturation a little. Next, we add a new override, lead gamma gain, and increase the gamma to our scene a bit. The last element we will add here will be bloom. So let's increase the intensity to achieve the glowing sun effect. The sun brightness can be also controlled in our skybox using sun intensity. Now let's add an ambient occlusion to our scene. To do this, go to the project window and select Settings folder, and then select the asset you are using. If you don't know which one you are using, you can check it by select Edit, Project Settings, and Graphics. Here, after clicking Default Render Pipeline, your pipeline asset will be highlighted. In the renderer list, select your pipeline asset, click on it, and in the inspector window, select Add Renderer Feature, Screen Space Ambient Occlusion. Now, all that's left to do is add reflection probe and bake the scene. Of course, all the parameters that I shown in this video can be freely modified to achieve an effect that suits your scene best. Just remember not to leave the shadow completely black. And that's all for this tutorial. I hope it was useful to you, and if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. And until next time, see ya!